Hello again, everyone. I'm Steve Greene with Charisma Media, particularly Charisma Magazine, Ministry Today Magazine. I hope you read those magazines. If you don't, please subscribe. We've always got a deal for you. Let me speak with you to continue in our series I put up on one of our videos yesterday. I spoke with you about specifically to determine demand. That marketing begins by, before you start selling a product, make sure you know that there's a demand for it. Again, if you ask your friends, they want it. But your friends, that's just not enough people. And even your friends don't buy what they tell you they're going to buy. People don't know what they demand. They'll find out later. I'm telling you that Steve Jobs did not build the iPhone or really the initial anythings. He did not build them based on demand that people said, I want a new music player. The iPod came because Steve Jobs had an idea that he had something that people would demand, and he built it that way. It's very rare that you could build without any demand assessment. But say you've done that and you've got a pretty good demand assessment for maybe your new church plant, for your book, for some product that you believe would be applicable to Christians. Let's talk about what comes next. And we're going to spend 3 or 4, maybe 5 sessions just on this one topic because I think it's so critical for anyone to understand if they want to market more effectively. And we'll begin by just thinking about a segment of people. We know there's a demand. Well, what segment of people demands it? Most people begin here the wrong way. They go right to an age group. We do that because the AC Nielsen company started that back in the 60s with what they call the Nielsen report. The Nielsen report was based on age and demography of what program do you watch and how old are you. And it stayed with us even today. Target markets are defined by age groups such as 18 to 24 or 18 to 45. The most common adult target is 18 to 54-year-old adults, neither male nor female, just adults. I don't know about that as a target. That sounds like half the United States population to me. That's too large. We can't really target that. It's a huge target. It's a huge segment. A segment of people that's got to be smaller. Demand is small. Demand we base on a certain type of person. Maybe they live in a zip code. They live within 2 to 3 miles of your store location, or they're close to you. They know who you are. So obviously that target is important to authors. Who knows you? We'll call that a platform. Who are the people that know you? How large is that platform? How can you reach them? Obviously, direct mail, email. How do you reach that group of people who know you already? That's a segment. I think there's another form of segmentation that I much more prefer, and that would be a benefit segmentation. That what benefit are people looking for? Or they want freedom from fear? Do they want to draw closer to God through His presence? What is it that they're looking for? Where does that come from? Felt need. That when they have a felt need, they're looking for that benefit of how to find that place where they can get that need satisfied. So let's have this takeaway for this first video on determining a market segment, and ultimately we're leading up to picking the right target. You cannot pick the right target just by putting our finger up in the air and saying who's a good target for this product. That comes from demand assessment, knowing who demands it, and then coming to that place where we understand what it is that people are really looking for, and that will help us to get to a definition of a segment. So what we aren't going to do is segment on the basis of age. It might be okay, but it's a descriptor. I'm much more concerned with predictors. If people have this, let's say a benefit segmentation, if they have this feeling, this fear, this felt need, they're more likely to be a segment that I can reach. An age group may or may not work for me. Even gender may or may not work for me. Is it male or female? I don't know yet. I'm not certain yet until we do some tests. We do some split testing, A-B splits. We do some other things that'll help us determine whether or not this is in fact a target market. So I'll leave you with that. Target marketing begins with a segment. Segmentation begins with understanding whether or not there's primary demand for your product. Focus in on what people are looking for. What is it that they want? And then define that segment. Define that benefit segmentation. We'll do more of this tomorrow. God bless you all, and thank you for watching.